welcome to humanitywins.net. Please read the important disclaimer on your screen. All of the content provided is for entertainment purposes only. It should not be taken as medical or legal advice. Please contact your doctor or lawyer if you require such advice. Thank you. The show starts right now. Hello, welcome to this very special episode of humanitywins.net. I'm very pleased to have you here today because this for me is very special. This is the first ever episode of the Africa I Want You in the Show program. And we have Lomoro from Nairobi, Kenya. Hello, Lomoro. Thank you for being here. Lomoro has a journal called the African Slum Journal, which I'm going to be including the link on the show notes. You can go and visit Lomoro's work there on the African Slum Journal. Hello, Lomoro. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, I'm also excited to be in the show. I think it's also a really a good privilege to
unfortunately,
about myself. So right where I'm.
Yes, I'm sorry, Lomoro. You cut off a little bit. If you can just repeat what you were saying about introducing yourself. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm saying right where I'm so happy to also be featured on the show.
Okay.
So it's really a good opportunity.
Thank you.
To be able to share my story and also just to share, what happens on the other side of the world also.
Yes, that's the intention. That's perfect, Lomoro, because the intention is for people to understand there's a continent out there called Africa, that there are many countries in Africa, a lot of diversity, and it's a beautiful place, same as the rest of the world. That's the intention. Thank you for sharing that. So you're not right now in Nairobi, as requested, you're in the out there. This is a little different chat. This is not someone that is in their house or their office. You're out there. Thank you for that. And you're going to show us a little bit of where you are, right? And explain us a little bit what's going on. We're also going to see a video later on you send me about... Okay. Yes, so go ahead.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to switch my camera. So
yes,
I'm going to just show my audience around so that they can also get...
Thank you.
...with the environment.
Yes.
It's a neighborhood. It's also quite an old estate. For the middle class, for the middle class to live in Nairobi. Okay. So what really happens here, it's more like a community kind of estate. As you can see, we have the little dog running around. So it's like a different kind of lifestyle here. Okay. So I'd also like to show, so this is more like a community that people live. The security is good. It's just right across the road. And the only interesting thing is that you won't believe immediately what you see behind this estate. So like really the contrast that how things flip up. Yeah, in terms of sanitation, security, and general health, I think is an issue.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm standing on the road. Sorry about that.
No worries. Thank you. That's excellent. That's very organic, and we can understand. I can say that looks to me like a regular neighborhood, basically anywhere around the world. Of course, Nairobi is quite a large city, so it's very common that the neighborhoods are like that. Right now, kind of the more modern approach is to do these gated communities that is a closed environment, also for security. I know here in Mexico, that has become almost mandatory to be in a gated community, because if you're in what is called an open neighborhood, basically there's a lot of problems with in-house robberies and stuff like that, unfortunately. I mean, so the way to go has become of these new neighborhoods that are outside the city, which are with a controlled entrance, one gate, there's a guard there, and you can only go in if you have a specific reason. Right now, even with technology, we have apps that you authorize whoever has to come in, and it's everything controlled and documented, and cameras and all that. So as you're walking, what you're showing us, if I understand, is how there's going to be a contrast, right? Immediately.
Yes, so I'm moving out of the estate right now, as you can see, so I'm walking out.
Yes.
This is just to show that as much as it's quite developing, I'd say, as you can see around me, we have a lot of high-rise buildings coming up, so it means that there's also growth in terms of economy. The middle class is growing quite big now, so there's also need for proper housing to be able to accommodate the growing middle class around. But with the middle class, there's always a problem, because then the middle class need people to work for them in their houses and to clean for them. Like you can see just ahead of me, there's a person cleaning. Yeah, but then where do these people live? So I'd also like to share the other side of normally just what happened just behind, where we have a lot of shanties that, those people cannot afford actually to afford this lifestyle normally live. And the main reason I want to share this is that you see that these people, most of the time, they lack access to basic needs such as sanitation, proper sanitation, which I think is a major health hazard that needs to be addressed as well.
Very important, sanitation, very important. Actually, I'm a firm believer that the reason most have taken away and all that in the 1900s are because of sanitation, because of the introduction of sanitation in Europe, in North America, in Latin America, and many other places. The sanitation, the proper sanitation. I mean, during World War I, during World War II, during the 1800s, when there was no running sanitation, no in-house sanitation, well, basically what happens is, yes, bacteria that, I mean, we don't have to be graphic, but it runs, proliferate. Plus, on top of that, unfortunately, in Africa, there's a problem with nutrition. So not proper nutrition has a system. So it's a combination of things, I think, and the real problem is they should address it with sanitation. Okay? Yes, I can see the contrast. Everyone watching, we can clearly see the contrast where Lemoore is going. That it has changed. There's no more. We clearly can see this is a dirt road. It's no more, like a regular cement or asphalt road. And yes, we can see clearly the contrast more.
Yeah, so this is like more like an informal
market
of workshop.
Yes.
It's a wood workshop, but most of these businesses are quite informal, meaning most of them are not registered. So when they're not registered, it means it's really an issue to access things like insurance, access things like security. So that is why you can see they're not having like really proper infrastructure, just displaying their furniture alongside the road.
Merchandise.
Because of lack of things like credit that can allow them to have a proper showroom to showcase their work. Also, apart from that, also they as much as their work, they're not like really being protected much, meaning like they don't have like really proper protective gear. Maybe I can show you a bit. So you'll see most of the guys are just using their hands to work. So it means that they don't have like really proper tools also to be able to use. So as we continue, I'm leaving this site, so I'm heading just behind because I just came outside of the gate, so I went through the gate. So basically, I'm going behind the estate just to also share, so you can also see the situation that the growing middle class has brought, because it means that the growing middle class, when the middle class grow, they need more people to work for them because they don't have much time. They're always at work and also doing a lot of different kind of businesses. But these has also created kind of informal economy for other people that really support their lifestyle in terms of cleaning, taking care of their kids, and such. So as I turn, you can basically see, as we start, you can already see the road is changing.
Yes.
It's getting a bit dustier also as well. These are some of the shops. We call them kiosks around. You can see the infrastructure also. Most of them are not like really well developed.
Oh, Manchester
a lot of
United.
Iron sheets. So this is like an hotel where I'm pointing. If you can see my hand, this is one of the hotels.
Okay.
Yeah.
The red one.
Yeah.
Red and gray, yes.
Yeah, so you can see that basically everything is quite changing, and this is just behind the estate.
Yes,
because also we have kids.
And I start to see a little bit of garbage out there in the road, which you mentioned for sanitation. That's a problem. Okay, garbage decomposes.
Yeah, that's a problem because as you can see, just with my camera.
Oh, and that water,
that's like a really
that water is
bad drainage system.
Yeah,
and then also next to it, you can find that there's also food at the same time.
That's not
which is like can also be a problem in case of waterborne.
Of course, because if they prepare the food and they are not properly cleaned and that's the problem with sanitation. Okay, you introduce bacteria, basically bacteria. A lot of people right now have an issue with viruses and that, but it's mostly bacteria in the fact of sanitation. diseases through decomposed fecal matter or decomposed food or something like that, that introduces this bacteria. And again, I have to say it, if the immune system was in top shape, maybe there's not a huge problem. But if people are stressed, they're malnourished, they're overworked, they are in bad sanitation, then yes, it's a huge problem. And that's the problems we hear through Africa, that, you know, there's a lot of disease, communicated disease through this lack of sanitation. You're totally right. And then the bus passes by and moves all the sand around, all the, you know, all the dirt around. So yes, I can imagine it. Lomoro, if you don't mind, we have a video. Maybe you want to switch the camera again.
Okay.
And we can see the video together, and then we can kind of do the back end of the show, talking again a little bit, you and I, learning your story. I think you're still showing the other camera. Yeah. Now we have you. So we're going to watch the short video you sent me, and then we'll end the show just talking a bit about your story, about the journal, about also if you can help me recruit more viewers from Africa from the show, explaining a little bit that this is a special one, that I'm sharing a very small amount of money as energy, that I hope it reaches you as energy out there in Africa. It helps you a little bit, but the intention is to learn the stories of many, many different people from many different countries in Africa. So let's watch the short video together, okay? 1 second, let me prepare this.
Okay.
Okay, Lomoro, many thanks for that. I think it was very clear in the video, the issue you saw about sanitation. You could clearly see the animals there, the chickens or wherever they went, they were drinking from the open wastewater. So that's not good at all. That will create that cycle of disease, unfortunately, that those chickens will eventually get a disease. And if you eat them, then you can cook them for sure, but there's a high risk that you're gonna get whatever they have, and it's a cycle. It's clearly not right. But Lomoro, if we can change a little bit about, if you can tell us a little bit about your story. Are you from Nairobi originally, or from another part of Kenya? If you can tell us a little bit about Kenya maybe, and Nairobi, and we'll end the show with that. We're around halfway through. We're 15 minutes, so we have 10 more minutes. So you want to share that, please?
Okay, so I'm not originally from Nairobi, but I work in Nairobi. So
Okay.
I came in Nairobi around 2011. That is like almost 10 years ago. So I came from the western part of Kenya, which is a quite rural area.
Okay.
Compared to Nairobi. So after high school, because I was studying in the western part, so that is close to the Lake Basin region. That is Lake Victoria, those sites. Then I joined a university in Nairobi. That's how I ended up coming here. And after school, I started working. First, before working, I was trained as a producer, as a media producer.
Okay.
And then that's how I started working with African Slum Journal, which I'm working with now.
Okay.
So basically what African Slum Journal does is, like, we try to collaborate with journalists around, storytellers and creatives, to try to show stories around their communities. Because we realized that there was a problem because we had stories like this, that like what I've just shown you. So it meant that these issues were not being addressed. Then we thought, like, but how do we become inclusive and effective? Then we thought, like, it would be really clever to work with the reporters or the filmmakers and creatives from around these societies that will really, really report on pressing issues around their society. So people could also, like, really learn their stories from their own perspective for a better change.
That's great. And I commend you for your work and the African Slum Journal, because you're So of course they don't want to discredit the governments. And of course, what you just showed me is not a testament to the government of Kenya. I mean, because they haven't fixed that. What I think about Africa is I've heard, and I've known about Africa a lot, so I have done my research, but with our interview, I kind of refreshed my information about that some of the economies in Africa are thriving in the sense of what you explained, that a lot of people are being integrated into middle class. So that means they go from places, unfortunately, of the ones you show us in the video, to the place we started in that is a little bit better. I mean, I didn't see any open sewer waters there, any open sanitation tubes or anything like that. There was no water on the road. It was an asphalt or cement road, which helps because, when there's a dirt road, for example, if it rains, it creates a lot of static water, which creates disease, okay? There's a lot of mosquitoes that go to these dumps of water. Animals will drink from that water, which is dirty. It has carried away everything from the dirt and that. So these economies are thriving in the sense, it's not that they are the best economies in the world. They're growing a lot, much more than the Western world. They're growing a lot, which is a good thing. And in this economic development, in this world we have right now, which if you have seen my channel, I think we're going into a different world. This shouldn't be happening. This is a glitch, okay? Everyone out there should be in abundance and totally taken care of, and not just being out there, you're putting a hazard to be diseased or something. That shouldn't be happening. And that's the intention of this idea, to show us about Africa and that. But if you don't mind switching the camera again, no more. So we just finished the show a few questions that I have. We have 5 more minutes to go.
Okay.
Yes, no problem. So you were saying you came from the countryside, which I'm sure is beautiful. Nairobi is a big city. It's you know how many million does it have, or it's not that big?
No, it's quite big with a lot of, we have a lot of rural urban migration because of young people, especially coming into the city to look for work. So it's always growing. As per now, we are approximately between 5 to 6 million people living.
Which is about the size of my city, but it's big. I know. Yeah. It's and you have a lot of pollution, I must assume, from cars and that. I'm talking about air pollution and what is it not bad?
Yeah, according to the UN reports, actually, they say that we lose because of poor sanitation and bad and air pollution. So I think it's like a big crisis. Let me just show you something.
No problem.
As you can see, there's like an open fire, a lot of them across the road. So it means that this really leads to really.
Oh, I see it. Yes. Do people burn garbage? Does that happen there? It used to happen here, and then they prohibited, and that helped. People to get rid of garbage, they would put it out there, make a mountain of garbage, and put some gasoline and just make a fire. But that creates a lot of pollution. Is that a common practice there?
Yeah, it's a common practice because mostly we have a poor system of solid waste management, especially within the city. So you find that the most common method of disposal is through burning, and this leads to a lot of pollution, a lot of methane gases that really is one of the biggest contributors of global warming. So I think, as much as we are not really one of the biggest contributors, but I think slowly, if the population continue growing, then I think in the future, this might also start becoming a problem.
Yes, definitely. I am against burning anything, okay, because I believe in how nature behaves, in the wisdom of nature, okay? So people say, oh, we're not contributing to global warming. Okay, I don't know about that, but we're certainly not doing any favors by burning oil, burning gas, burning carbon, burning garbage, burning, it's not, that doesn't help. This story that carbon has to be out there. If carbon has to be in the atmosphere, nature will put it out there, okay? It's not real, that's just justifications to keep using gasoline and that. Again, I'm not in favor or against of anything. I'm just in favor to following nature, okay? I'm sure I understand the migration from the countryside to Nairobi. I understand that there are more opportunities. But I wish people would stay in the countryside because I'm sure it's beautiful. So I'm sure you remember your countryside. It's Africa. It's very beautiful, the countryside. And the cities, yes, also, but the nature in Africa is very beautiful. Mountains and a lot of diversity in animals and all that. So Lomoro, I thank you. We're around 23 minutes in, so I thank you very much for being the first one to be here. And I want to invite everyone watching. I want to ask you to please share this with your friends and everyone watching. If we get another guest from Nairobi, that's fine. But the intention I want to share it is to get guests from all parts of Africa. And I just want to clarify for someone that doesn't know where Kenya is. We didn't say that. Kenya is Central East Africa, okay? It's very close to Somalia, which a lot of people unfortunately have heard of because of the pirate situation. It's very unfortunate because Somalia is very nice. The beaches are beautiful, but people tend to kind of picture it because of the pirate situation that keeps happening there. Your border with Somalia, no? If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah. To the north, I believe. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
it's to the east. Alongside entirely northeast. It's
northeast, yes, northeast. But you also have coast in Kenya, no? No, I don't know. I'm trying to picture the map. Yes, you have sea in Kenya, or
seen what? Some kids, yeah.
No problem. That you have a coastline in Kenya, right? You also have access to the sea, or not? Access to the sea?
No, not in Nairobi. Nairobi is in the middle.
No, not Nairobi, but East Kenya, no? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The west. We border Indian Ocean to the west.
Okay.
To the east. Sorry, to the east.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indian Ocean. Yes. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So, Lomoro, thank you very much for being here. And please, the only thing I ask of you is when the episode is coming out on Wednesday, and I'm gonna email you the link to BitChute and Rumble. These are the two platforms we publish in. That you please share it. Okay, please share it.
Yeah.
You have friends outside. Sure. If you have friends outside Kenya, the invitation stands for everyone.
Yeah.
And the promise I share is I'm going to make a list, and the first one that comes is going to be the first in the list, and then the second one and the third, I'm going to follow the list. That's the only thing. So I'm going to bring everyone on the show eventually. And if we have guests, I plan to do 2 to 3 monthly shows with Africa. Okay. Thank you, Lomoro, very much. We're about time. Yes. Thank you very much, Lomoro.
Okay. Thank you too.
Thank you. For everyone watching, please stay for the last 3 minutes of the show. Thank you for making it to this part of the video. This is my favorite part. This is where I suggest to you that you discover yourself. You are not what you have been groomed to believe. You are this incredible being without limits that has eternal life, amazing strength, infinite wisdom, and a big, beautiful heart. All your limits are always self-imposed. Your best version in this reality is inside you. Your only mission on this life is to become a beacon of love and guidance. This version is ready to be discovered today. How do you discover yourself? The discovery process is a personal one. No one can do it for you. Dedicate 5 minutes a day to talk to yourself and the universe. Request to be connected and ask, who am I? Where do I come from? You will start getting signs, breadcrumbs, and signals. You will notice how your notions about those realities start disappearing. No more hierarchies, no more competition, no more complaining, no more depending on others. Discovering yourself equals to breaking your matrix. Your self-imposed limits will fall, and you will be ready to serve humanity and help break this spell and deception on us. But you must be patient to allow others to wake up at their time through their own free will. That will be really soon, you will see, and that will start a new world. As you work towards your best version, you will notice how all emotions don't serve you anymore. Hate, fear, rage, pride, loss, envy, violence, justice, true violence, judgment of others, and other emotions will disappear from your mind and heart. You will understand those emotions serve only the evildoers and are not you. Please try to be understanding of others that don't think or feel like you. Everyone has a process. No one is right or wrong. We're all just different. Don't be concerned about being right, ever. Don't allow pride preventing you from patching things up with family and friends. It is very important you enjoy this life with your loved ones. Put in the work to patch things up and leave it to others to decide. Please relax and enjoy life. When everyone breaks their own matrix, humanity through our community consciousness will break the final spell. The new world will start and everything will gradually fall. Governments, hierarchies, and the medical and financial system will go from scarcity to abundance for all. Thank you very much for watching. Please share this episode. If you have any comments or suggestions, please use the comment section below. For private questions, conversations, and if you would like to appear on the show, please email me at hey@humanitywins.net. Thank you again. Please don't forget to visit our website www.humanitywins.net. By giving me your time, you honor me. Have a very, very, very nice day.